Hello and welcome to this basic, very beginner introduction to our negotiation class, which I hope you can join. I'm going to just very quickly give an overview, and then later in other videos you can see much more detail. I'm Professor Warden, and this is my friend, my pet Tux, and he's going to help us throughout this class. The first thing I want to introduce is this negotiation class is totally online and has some very unique parts to it. The most unique part is we're going to do a role-playing game. So let's begin by finding out how we can find out more about this. You can go to my website, which is cwarden.org. And at my website, you can learn a few things about me and see the things I've been up to. And if you go down, you can see a link to classes. Of course, you can find this at our school website also. Our iLearning system has an introduction to our class. But here's a website I've built that's very simple. And it shows you the 2 classes that I have online every year. So I hope you can take an opportunity to take these classes. It's very convenient because they're 100% online. Today I'm going to do a very quick introduction to the negotiation class. The negotiation class has a syllabus and online lectures and an introduction to the RPG, which I'm going to kind of begin right now. So before I go any further, let me just do a very basic introduction about RPGs. Maybe you're familiar with RPGs. Maybe you've played an RPG before, which is role-playing game. There are different types of role-playing games. You're probably familiar with video game role-playing games. When I grew up, we didn't have video games until later when I was a teenager, but when I was young we didn't have that. We only played board games or tabletop games. So the history of role-playing is this tabletop kind of game. Maybe you've seen some videos of it, or maybe you've seen a movie that has this in it. These are still very popular. In fact, they're growing in popularity. And one reason it's growing in popularity is people can play this online with other players. You don't need to be in the same room. That's very cool. Tabletops are one type of RPG. There's another one called live action or LARPing. L-A-R-P. Live action role playing. So this LARP or LARP or LARPing is another way to role play. And when I was a college student, we'd have times once a year usually when they had a big activity for a week or so, you could go and do this kind of LARPing. Of course, now there's a lot of this kind of dressing up and role playing and making costumes and things like that. Very, very popular, so I think you know exactly what we're talking about. Of course, you have role-playing inside video games, which I think is the most popular and common type of role-playing. You also have single-person role-playing, which is you can play alone. And I do this sometimes. I have a book or some rules or a video game, and you can play by yourself. Or you can have multiplayer online or multiplayer in person or large-scale multiplayers, games. So there's all different kinds of ways to have this kind of role-playing. Of course, the key to role-playing is you have people, and in this case, me or you, and you sometimes have a game master or a program or computer or some kind of system, and then you have characters that you play. You also have non-player characters. So the characters are me, I play someone inside the game, or you pretend you're someone inside the game. And non-player characters are people in the game, but they're controlled by the AI, or they're controlled by the program, or they're controlled by the game master, or they're controlled by some rules in a book. Okay, so I think that's a basic idea. And what I want to show you is that inside this class, this role-playing class, this RPG we have for our negotiation, what we're going to do is we're going to pretend that we are a company and we need to make a negotiation. So in this class, I just want to quickly let you know that it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, Stay tuned, watch some more videos for more detail.